6 o'clock on your Tuesday morning. Whoa, it's cold outside today.
So, can we say cold today?
Yeah, I think so.
Sure, say cold
I think
today.
so.
Can we say cold
I
today,
think
Brian?
so.
Yeah, you can say cold today, yeah.
Yeah, that hit me. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Good
Yeah.
morning. Good morning.
How'd you guys feel walking outside this
I
morning?
put gloves on today for the first time.
First time.
For the
First
first
time.
time.
Wow.
I think I've had mine on since October.
Exactly. Me too. Yeah. Yeah, and the heat seater or whatever you want to call it.
Oh yeah, my heat's been on full blast.
Yeah, gotta
I
do
just
that.
upgraded to gloves.
Yeah, see, because the temperature this morning is about the same as yesterday, but the winds make it feel colder today.
Oh, it feels a lot colder today.
-8
Yeah.
is the wind chill at the moment.
Oh,
yeah.
is it? Okay. Is it an all-day type thing?
No, the winds are going to be fairly light. It's just that the winds are a little bit stronger this morning, so a bit more of a wind chill, but they're not going to be too bad today. Actually, we're going to see some sunshine today, so.
Oh,
yeah.
finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun.
Okay, and Emily, what are we chatting about today?
Golden Globes, it's all the rage. Of course, the nominees were announced yesterday. There are a couple of upsets, but there are a couple of no surprises as well. We'll have all those details.
Okay.
All right.
Just doing a little prepping here.
little grooming.
A little grooming of the plant.
Good morning, Emily.
Hi, guys.
Hi, what's
What are
going
we
on?
chit-chatting about today?
Well, after being pulled off the air for backlash and a ton of controversy, the Golden Globes are coming back. The nominees were announced yesterday, and everybody gets on board. And I have friends that try to see every single movie that's nominated.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people here. Like you try to see most of them.
Yeah, so I think I was telling you yesterday. So the only movie out of that I've seen, I did see Elvis. Do you guys like Elvis?
I watched Elvis. Do I
haven't seen
like
it yet.
Elvis?
Okay, so Elvis
Oh,
was
I
was
have
good.
seen
Okay,
Elvis.
I know you love Top Gun.
Yeah,
I've seen Top Gun.
So
You haven't
good.
seen Top Gun. So those are
So good.
really those are the only two movies I've seen. And a lot of
Same.
the time I do my movie watching later in the year.
You haven't
because
seen Turning Red with the kids?
Oh,
Yes,
I
okay,
have seen
yes,
that one.
I-
Yeah,
yeah,
I've seen
okay.
it. It's
Turning
very
Red
good.
too, yes.
Very good. Now, how did the new Avatar movie get nominated if it's not?
Not even released yet?
Yeah, it's out on
'Cause
Friday.
it's
right?
Avatar.
As long as it comes out before the end of the year, like all these movies, as long as they're out before the
Okay.
end of the year, they can get
Yeah.
into the award season.
Poor James Cameron, he couldn't even go to the premiere last night because he has COVID.
Oh, really?
I know. I hear Brian over there. Oh.
Oh. So that comes out on Friday, so we'll have lots more on that.
Yeah, I think we're all probably going to see that one. And this one is so cute. The list of top Ontario baby names is out. In 2021, the baby names that took the top spots are Olivia and Noah. FYI, Emily was the top baby name in the U.S. from 96 to 2007. I looked for Tim and I looked for Annette, and you guys have very unique names.
In this day and age. Did you go to school with a lot of teams? I went to school, like for a small school, I went to school with quite a few Annettes.
Yeah, and I think Jennifer was big back in our day as well. Emily was
Sarah's.
huge.
No,
yes,
because we have
Sarah.
two Emilys on the show.
I know,
On this
and,
show.
and like 18 Emily guests that come in here all the time.
There's a lot of names you don't see anymore.
But do you remember naming your kids? Like, do you remember thinking about what you were going to name your kids and how difficult it was? I had the hardest time. Did you not?
Well, we had because there's debates of what I want to name the kid and what Liz wants to name the kids. So then
yeah.
you have
Who won?
those debates. She always won.
Oh, okay.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
I think we were in the hospital with Hunter and we had no idea. We were like, ooh.
Oh, did you see the little guy? You're just like, I think that's a hunter.
No. I think we came up with it just in the nick of time, but we didn't know what
Yeah.
sex our baby was until we had it.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. What about Brian? Huh? That's a good
Where's
name.
Brian on the list?
It's right up there.
Yeah.
Right up there. Has to be. Come on.
Brian?
Huh? Thank you. Yes. Let's put it at the top of the list next
Brian,
year.
what's your middle name?
Walter.
Brian Walter.
Yes.
Brian
Walter.
Walter
Hated.
Wood.
My father's
What a
first name.
distinguished
Walter.
name.
Get
Thank you very
downstairs
much.
here.
Thank you very much.
Brian Walter.
I'll run with that for the rest of my life. Okay, 6:53. There it goes. Time to get you onto the road here this morning.
Good morning. Just after 7 o'clock on a very chilly Tuesday morning, but we're not talking about warm weather clothes. We're talking about sequins. Right, Emily?
And talking about your top. Is that a new top alert?
No.
Oh,
We were talking about sequence
failed.
dresses.
You've worn it on the show before?
Many times.
Yeah, right.
But not necessarily while you've been here.
Okay, yes.
So, yes.
First time wear for me, perhaps?
But you've seen me in the newsroom in this many times, but I guess you
Yes.
haven't seen me.
Yeah, it's very.
Oh, I feel so unseen.
I know how to throw a compliment, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
It's a great looking top. Good morning,
Thanks.
Annette. Good
But
morning.
sequence is
guys.
what we're talking about, Emily, in one of our guest segments coming up.
Yeah.
And there is a beautiful dress in the
So,
hall.
okay.
There is a dress out
What
there
is
that
sequence?
I want.
Really shiny, shimmery. You'll notice this.
Did you seriously just ask what sequence was? I am thoroughly disappointed.
This is
in
just
you,
for all the
Tim.
dudes that are watching.
No,
I'm thinking
that is
for
all
them.
for you.
I'm thinking for them too.
All the men I know and hang out with know
I
what
knew what
sequence
sequence
is.
were,
Okay.
funnily
Thank you,
enough.
Brian.
Okay, anybody at home, if you didn't know what sequence was, just say thanks, Tim.
Or send
Tweet
him a
him.
tweet and say,
There you are.
hey, Tim, guess what?
you
I
learn
know
things.
what sequence is.
Because I don't know very much, so I'm always asking questions.
Good. Good. That's the way to learn.
I'm looking forward to the guest because I think she's got some great
Good.
stuff.
Yes.
Is it like
yes.
it's something that you could wear? Like, is it a good ball gown for
Oh
like
my
a New
gosh,
Year's
I
Eve
can't
type
even.
thing
It's a
with
fancy.
with
It's a
like a
fancy.
disco ball because there's like lights glittering off your dress?
It looks like a disco ball.
Oh, it does.
Yes.
It's its own disco ball.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, there's a little tease for you. Nice.
Okay. We're looking forward to that.
What else you got coming up, Emily?
I'm so speechless at your. Well, no. Well, actually, I have something really funny coming up. I've made Tim and I avatars for artificial intelligence, and they're so good. They're so good.
Okay.
All right, that's,
Hey, you
that's another
guys could have
tease.
been in on it, Brian and Ed, but you guys. Were
I
like,
wasn't
no.
paying the $5.
Avatar. No.
Spent it all on that shirt. Brian, what do you got today?
I got some cold temperatures, so you'll need more than your sequin gown this morning, Tim.
You know what I like most about poinsettias? They're very difficult to kill. It's true. You can have one, you can water it a couple of times. It'll last you for a couple of months. I'm here at Terra Greenhouses, and Chris is joining me, talking about some really unique stocking stuffers, gift ideas for pretty much anyone in your family, but most importantly, the plant lovers in your life. Let's start with the non-plant things. Let's talk about this man soap.
Yes.
I know a lot of men that need some man soap. I do.
Well, along with
Luke?
all the planty things that we do have, we do carry a great line of all sorts of different kinds of gifty things. So fragrances and soaps are one of them, and the man bar is definitely one of the more popular items we carry. A great size for a stocking stuffer, and it comes in a nice little leather couch, which makes it nice and giftable.
Oh yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah.
And then it just slides open, I guess.
Got
Oh
a
no.
little flip
Oh,
open.
it's got
there
a
you
little,
go.
Oh, that's
yeah,
so cute.
some nice natural fragrances made with essential oils. And that's just one of many of the lines. So in front of you also is Beekman 1802, which is a line that's Canadian, and that's a really popular line that we carry.
Is gorgeous lotion.
Lots of goat's milk and
Yeah.
natural ingredients in that. And then we've got the Cucina line here by Fruits and Passion. Those are all available at our locations too, and conveniently in like nice little gifty sets. So those are easy grab and go gifts for virtually anyone on your
Yeah,
list, even if
sure.
they're not planty people per
Yeah.
se.
Okay, now gardening gloves. I have to buy like 3 or 4 pairs a year because I just go through them so quickly.
Same girl. I've always got so many garden gloves on the go. So whether you're grabbing a singular item for something like a stocking stuffer for someone that you know is into gardening, or building little collections of items for someone who is into gardening, we've got stuff for both outdoor and indoor, and things that you maybe wouldn't have thought of.
Yeah.
I've got a water meter here, a moisture tester.
Great idea.
Okay, is it an exciting gift? Probably not, unless you're actually a plant person. But for a plant person,
Yeah, well, for anyone that has a plant,
This is the
you don't
most
have to be a
exciting
plant
thing.
person to have plants in your house.
well, that's it. We've got a whole generation of people who have not grown
Yeah.
plants before, and something like a moisture tester or a water meter is like a best friend tool
Totally.
if you're just getting into plant keeping. It's one of the easiest tools.
Oh,
to
I've
use.
drowned so many plants.
It's an easy thing
Oops.
to do. Yeah,
Why are
so
you
that's a
yellow?
really handy thing to have for somebody as well.
yeah.
We've got specialty watering cans, so both with functional or with maybe more beautiful and fashionable
Ooh.
options like that for planty people. Large collection of pottery, so things to put plants in. All sorts of things
Amazing.
for gifty people.
Okay, well, we're going to talk poinsettias, and we're also going to be talking Christmas tree, real or fake. Which side do you fall on? More on that coming up.
Time now for Chit Chat.
And Emily joins us.
Hi.
Hi. The real Emily with the
Okay.
real Tim,
Hi.
not their avatars.
Ooh, what's better though?
Well, I'm going to say our avatars because wait until you see them. Now, I'm only assuming, and I tried to do some research on this, but Lensa's new social media app, it's called Lensa AI. It's a magic avatar. You've probably seen it everywhere. I'm only assuming that the app has grown in popularity because the new movie Avatar is coming out this week. So there's Tim and myself as AI
Those look awesome.
individuals, right? But here's the problem. People are actually taking their photos into plastic surgery offices and asking for the work.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, Dr. Terry
You should do
Dubrow.
What are you trying to say?
The guy that co-hosts Botched told TMZ that 2 people have already approached him asking if he can turn them into their Lensa AI self-portraits.
Yeah, but
Like, it's not possible in the operating room. Like, my cheekbones in that bottom right photo,
Yeah.
I don't have those cheekbones.
No.
Not even in a million years. And Tim, like, you're handsome, but like, you're not like the bottom right of you looks like,
Your face has been stretched.
right.
yeah, like you look
I look like Jesus.
perfect. Well, that's a compliment to yourself.
Come on,
I
right
look
there.
like Jesus.
On the left.
So when we were talking about this
Look at
before,
those blue eyes.
I cannot believe you just said you look like Jesus.
What? I don't know. Don't I?
You wish.
I wish.
when we were talking about this before, like yesterday, we
Yeah.
were talking about Avatar, the
Yep, the movie.
The Way of Water is coming
Right.
out.
This is the best
So
part
I
of my
brought-
day right here.
So my husband at Disney, when Avatar, because Avatar's got this huge Pandora land at Disney
Huge,
World.
yeah.
And there's this thing where you can get yourself turned into
Let me
an
see.
avatar. So this is, I'm going to hold it up here so that.
So is that supposed to be Daniel?
It's supposed to be Daniel. So they take this, like just the face, right? But they
What,
get him
that's
into a
not his body?
machine. Yeah, he doesn't have a tail. They take him into a machine.
He does have a ponytail like that,
Yeah. So there he is. There he is.
Okay.
That looks nothing like my Daniel, other than this one has brown
Really?
eyes.
There's no characteristics at all
Yeah.
that look like him?
But he had to buy this doll,
Right.
and then he had to buy
though.
clothes that came with
Oh,
it,
right.
and,
This
is
and
the
everything
best
is.
You just like him in the, you just like him in the loincloth, don't you?
Everything is still in the box because
Oh, we can't open the.
can't open the box.
Well, no, because then it's not collectible anymore.
Yeah. So yeah. So
That's amazing,
yeah.
Daniel. I've never even met you, but
Yeah.
I'm
Or
going
that's
to love
what.
you.
Okay, that's what he looks like.
You'll love him. Daniel's the best. Quickly,
amazing.
can we go back to the Lensa stuff because
Of course.
the Lensa stuff?
No,
so,
we need to talk about this. It's huge.
because it costs money though.
Well,
Yeah.
that's not what's huge about it. The
Oh.
fact that it's causing a lot of ethical and privacy issues. It's sexualizing little kids that are using this app. It is putting in really false image of self to
Right.
these users that are using it. And
Not
that's,
unlike this.
Right? Not at all like that. I think that's really the big controversy is that it's fun and, we can look at it and be like, oh, we look so great. But
Yeah.
people are actually taking this to heart and thinking, oh, I look so much better in my AI than I do in real
Okay.
life. And
goes-
it's causing issues.
It goes back to the Zoom thing, right?
Yeah.
Through the pandemic, where we were looking at
Yeah.
ourselves all the time.
All the
in
time,
Zoom.
yeah.
Constantly.
Okay. All right.
Good job.
That's all I got.
Okay, coming up after 8, stocking stuffer ideas from Hamilton-based businesses.
Okay, a special birthday shout out because the other Emily, who's working on that other show this week, Emily Taylor, it's her birthday.
Happy birthday, Emily.
Every-
Good morning. Thanks for joining us on this crisp, cold Tuesday morning.
Yes, crisp. That's another adjective I like to use. Yes, it did feel very crisp as I was starting up the car this morning, and it started,
Yes.
and then it took too long to warm up.
Yeah, you want it to warm up instantaneously, but it just won't.
Now, you have an electric car.
Yes.
Electric vehicle. So
Yes.
does it take longer, and do you use more energy?
It doesn't because it's plugged in. And here's something that I haven't. Here's the great thing about it is you can, through an app that I have to get working again, you can turn it on ahead of time. Where I've done this in the past, I just have to
Okay.
get into winter mode because I'm not in winter
Okay.
mode yet.
Oh,
where you can
yes.
actually get it going because it's still plugged in, and then when you step into it, it's like super warm.
And hopefully not stolen.
But you can't steal it because
Oh,
it's
okay.
still locked.
Oh, okay,
So everything's
okay.
still locked up. And here's the great thing because you don't got exhaust like filling out for extended periods of time.
Yeah, okay.
So you know how we all kind of have to get back into winter mode. Like even today when I walked
I
out.
was going to say, Tim, why are you not in winter
I am
mode
like-
yet? I know it's not
Yes.
really winter, but
I've been in winter mode since September.
feels
Yeah.
like
I don't know. I still I don't have my gloves.
Yeah, Emily,
I don't.
because you wear a coat for the first 2 hours of your shift because you're so
easily, I
cold.
know. Everyone's like, yeah, you can take your coat off, stay a while. I'm sitting there at my computer in my parka.
And your boots.
Yeah,
Oh,
totally.
Yeah.
I can't help it. It's chilly.
and it's going to be even colder tomorrow morning.
Oh, thanks,
so
Brian.
yeah.
Thanks for that.
Okay, well, that's what I'm here
He's
for.
just a messenger.
Keep you informed.
Oh, I know.
That's what it is. Yeah.
I'm here at Terra Greenhouses checking out their amazing selection of fresh trees. And Chris, one of the misconceptions that people have about getting a real tree versus a fake, they say, oh, I don't want to get a real tree because I don't want to cut it down out of the forest. It's bad for the environment.
Right. It's a common misconception, and I get it. It feels counterintuitive maybe to cut down a
Kind
tree
of,
for a
yeah.
holiday. But the interesting thing is that Ontario fresh cut trees are a cultivated crop, just like any other grown crop specifically for Christmas. And it's one of the most sustainable crops out there. So it takes 10 to 12 years for a tree to get to full size, which means for every one tree that we cut down, there are 10 more growing behind it. So people who farm trees for a living make sure that they've got a whole succession planned. So it's actually one of the more environmentally friendly crops out there.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
All of them are. But there's 3 different kinds. If I'm new to buying a real Christmas tree, some people have fake and then they decide to switch over or vice versa. Which is the best one for ornaments? Because I am a big ornament girl. I have so many.
Yeah, there's definitely different pros and cons to each kind of fresh cut tree. We are looking at balsam right here, balsam fir, long time #1 fresh cut type of tree, mostly because it's the most fragrant. It is so fragrant in the house. It's got that lovely fir, almost a bit of a citrusy smell, and just fills the entire air with fragrance. So it's got nice soft needles, good relatively strong branching for hanging ornaments.
And it's usually proportioned, right?
Yeah, definitely. There's different heights and sizes and types that you can get, but balsam is definitely good for someone who collects lots of ornaments.
Okay, that's my kind of tree. Now this tree, I feel like, ow!
Yes, yes. Unlike balsam,
ornaments wouldn't hang very well.
No, well, sometimes yes and sometimes no. But this is Scotch pine. It is sort of an OG tree. So if you want that like rustic, old school kind of retro look, if you're going for like a mid-century modern styling in your home, which is very popular right now,
super trendy.
This might be the way you go. It's got the long needles. It is sharp, which makes it a little bit trickier to decorate.
And like with kids, I'm just thinking, ooh.
And like you mentioned, it's very dense.
Yeah.
So if you've got a huge ornament collection, it can be hard to display a ton of ornaments on Scotch pine. But on the other side, if you are relatively minimalist or you want sort of an earthy look and you just want to throw up a few lights and a handful of decorations, it looks amazing without
or like
much.
popcorn or orange slices or something like that.
All of those things, yeah, for sure.
Now this one looks pretty common. This is like, this is one that everyone has.
Fraser fir. And you'll notice in contrast with the other ones as well, it's got kind of a bluish tone to it. It's because the undersides have a silver striping. And Fraser fir has become the #1 fresh cut Christmas tree as far as Ontario and most of Canada is concerned for a couple of reasons. As you mentioned, if you've got a large ornament collection, they tend to have very stiff, very spacious branches, so it's easier to hang ornaments on there, and they hold on to their needles for a nice long time, 3 to 4 weeks.
All right, well the fir tree looks like it's, what's it called? The Douglas fir?
Fraser fir.
Fraser fir, I'm getting my names mixed up. All right, we're gonna talk lots more coming up. Poinsettias, gifts, all sorts of fun here this morning at Terra Greenhouses.
Chit chat time. What are we chit chatting about, Emily?
Well, you were talking about Elvis and how he had to do his mandatory military service. Well, it is a new haircut for BTS member Jin as he begins his mandatory military service in his home country of South Korea. They're all going to have to do it.
They all have to do it.
Yeah.
It's really, it's something that it's so foreign to us.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah?
I do. Not because I want to see anyone serving and having to go to war, but to have that discipline and to teach them rules and regulations. I don't know, maybe I want to send my kids. Maybe that's where I'm going with this.
Boarding schools.
Yeah.
But it seems by the age of 30, it's too old. Like you kind of want to get it out of the way.
Values, and I mean, there's pros and cons.
But like by the time you're 30, are you kind of set in your ways? Like you're jaded already. It's just
But if you have to,
you're already bad.
For sure. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But would you wait until you're 30, or you try to get it out of the way earlier?
Maybe try and get it out of the way earlier, but again, 18 when you're an adult, what kind of impact is it going to make then? So kids need to go when they're 10. Not at all, of course not. That's ridiculous. Okay, moving on. Twitter. Remember the blue check mark? Do you guys have a blue check mark?
No.
No, still waiting.
Oh, I have a blue check mark.
How did you get a blue check mark?
I mean, how did I get a blue check mark?
Or did I say it like that? I was just like,
how did you get a blue check mark?
Was there an attitude
I
involved
don't
in
know.
that?
How did you get one?
Previous workplaces, I got the blue check mark.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got it. But they tried to launch it in October.
Right.
It failed miserably, of course, because they had all sorts of, fake accounts coming in. But starting yesterday, Twitter is now going to charge $8 for a month for web users. And
Not that I'm
But do any of those things bother you now?
The ads?
The ads do, but you've got to
bit.
be in the practice of reporting the ads or just closing that X so that you don't get them repeatedly.
I kind of find that I don't know, there's people in my timeline that I don't follow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That
But how is
happens.
that possible? Like, that's a new thing in your timeline
Well,
that you don't follow?
Yeah, because there's so
Musk.
many that's like, where is this person coming from? Why am I getting
It's
them
like
in
your
my feed?
algorithm's getting all messed up.
Yeah.
All of a
Yeah,
sudden you're like, whoa, I don't follow that person. Whoa. It's one of those, isn't it? I see where you're coming from. I get it. I get it. Well, yeah, I guess I wouldn't pay for it either. But I
you
have it.
already
have
Because I
it.
already have it.
How did you get one?
And you get a blue check mark. I won't take that as an insult. But I have one and you don't, so.
Are you throwing to yourself?
Oh yeah, heading back to Terra Greenhouse. I had so much fun there
it's
yesterday,
good.
you guys. It was great. Watch this. Now, if you live in a really small space, right? A lot of people live in condos, they live in apartments, there's a lot of retirement homes that you can't necessarily fit a full-size Christmas tree in. So you have so many great options here of what you can do instead, and I didn't even think of half of them.
For sure. For a lot of people, a full-size Christmas tree might not be a practical option. Sometimes it's space, sometimes it's cats or something along those lines where you might need something smaller or more contained. And there are lots of ways to have a Christmas tree and not missing out on that fun without having a huge Christmas tree, for sure.
I feel like so many people have these plants in their apartments or homes or anything anyways.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. The one that is right in front of us, and there's a larger version here, is called Norfolk Island Pine. So that's one of the most popular Christmas tree alternatives on the market. It is actually a tropical plant. So something we get asked often is, can I buy this and put it on my porch? No, please don't do that. It is a tropical plant.
Keep it inside, it needs to be warm.
But the good thing is it can last for months and months and months on end, even years if well cared for. So it is basically a tropical house plant that you can use and even decorate seasonally for the holidays.
Yeah, that's so cute. And these little tiny ones, what are these ones all
These
about?
are called cypress. Same kind of idea. It is sort of a tropical semi-evergreen. They come in this bright lime color as well as a dark green color.
Yeah, this
We've
one
got
doesn't
them.
even look alive.
Isn't it crazy? So it's
That's so
flocked, which is very
neat.
trendy this year, but it is alive, and you can again decorate them. We've got some available with
Super
little lights, little baubles on them, so they're perfect for tabletop as well.
Yeah, do you sell them with the decorations already attached?
We do. We have them both with decorations and lights attached or on their own. So beside you is a dwarf Alberta spruce. So this is part of our potted porch tree program. So we've got these ones you can put outside.
Okay.
So those can go outside as a decoration or could live inside for short term and then go back outside and can even be planted into the garden for enjoyment in your landscape later.
Really? What a great idea.
Yeah.
So people are becoming a little bit more sustainable, a little bit more environmentally friendly.
For
And
sure.
again, if you have an option like this, you don't have to go out and feel like you're cutting down a tree, even though we learned earlier that they are produced for exactly that at a tree farm. Well, some great ideas. I've had such a good time here. Thanks so much, Chris.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us. We always love having you here at Terra. Thank you.
Make sure you go out and get yourself a beautiful Christmas tree. They are selling fast.